A billionaire sat in his glass tower, surrounded by wealth most people could never imagine. Yet behind the tinted windows, he was falling apart. No amount of money could fix the emptiness that gnawed at him. One night, his cry for help slipped, out in the most unexpected place, a dark, forgotten alley. And the person who heard him wasn't another CEO or a polished consultant, but a homeless black man society had discarded. What could someone with nothing teach a man who had everything? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Ethan Wallace was a name that carried power. His companies stretched across continents, his face appeared in magazines, and his fortune ranked among the highest in the world. From the outside, he had everything: money, influence, respect. Yet inside, he was restless. Nights grew longer, his health faltered, and loneliness filled his penthouse like a shadow. On a rainy evening, unable to breathe inside his own empire, Ethan left the skyscraper and wandered through the city streets. His expensive shoes splashed in puddles, but he didn't care. He walked until the streetlights dimmed and the neighborhoods shifted. Shiny storefronts gave way to boarded-up shops and polished sidewalks to cracked pavement. There, under a flickering light, sat a homeless man named Marcus. To the world, Marcus was invisible, another forgotten soul in a system that never gave him a chance. But that night, their worlds collided. Marcus noticed the billionaire before Ethan even saw him. A man in a tailored coat didn't belong in this neighborhood, not at this hour. But what caught Marcus wasn't the coat. It was the look in Ethan's eyes. Exhaustion, desperation. The kind Marcus had seen countless times, though usually in people who had nothing. Ethan muttered, almost to himself, "I can't fix it, no matter what I do." His words hung heavy in the night air. Marcus shifted, his blanket soaked from the rain, and said quietly, "Maybe that's because money can't fix what's inside." Ethan froze. It wasn't anger he felt. It was recognition. For the first time in years, someone spoke to him without asking for a favor or signing a contract. He sat down beside Marcus, the billionaire and the homeless man sharing the same broken sidewalk. Marcus told his story. How he'd once worked construction. How he lost his job after an injury. How doors closed when his skin color made him the last to be hired and the first to be forgotten. He spoke of systems that pushed people, like him, aside, of chances stolen before they even began. Ethan listened. The man who had built empires realized he'd never truly understood struggle. He'd only watched it from a distance. Marcus wasn't teaching him business. He was teaching him humanity. And with every word, Ethan's shame grew heavier. The rain poured, harder, running down Ethan's face like tears he hadn't allowed himself to shed. Marcus leaned closer, his voice steady despite the storm. "You think you're broken because your empire feels empty, but I've lived brokenness that money can't touch. Racism doesn't let you climb. Poverty doesn't let you rest. Yet I'm still here." Ethan felt his chest tighten. He realized this man, discarded by society, had more strength in survival than he had ever known in success. For once, Ethan didn't feel like the teacher, the leader, or the billionaire. He felt like the student, and Marcus, shivering in the cold, gave him the harshest truth of all. You can't buy peace. You have to build it. That night, Ethan didn't walk away unchanged. He returned to his tower, but the echoes of Marcus's words followed him into every boardroom, every speech, every sleepless night. Slowly, he began to shift his empire. not toward bigger profits, but toward creating programs for housing, rehabilitation, and job opportunities for those society ignored. Marcus remained on the streets a while longer, but his story was no longer invisible. A billionaire had finally listened and acted. This wasn't just one man's story. It was a reflection of how easily power overlooks pain until it's forced to see it face to face. The question remains, how many more Marcuses must the world ignore before change becomes real? Where are you watching this from? Which country? Which city? Take care.